Bishop Oyedepo is robbing the poor, yet mocking them. So Bishop Oyedepo is robbing the poor, yet mocking them. Bishop Oyedepo is robbing the poor, yet mocking them. That is the irony of our time. That is the irony of our time. But what do we do about it? We've got to let people know the truth. We've got to let people know the truth. So let's go ahead and inform. I want to go ahead and inform you about what I'm doing so that you will be on the same page with why I'm doing what I'm doing and what is the explanation for what I'm doing. Why am I, why am I implementing the strategy that I'm implementing? Why am I using this? Why am I applying this method? The method of using the video, the method of, calling people by name, showing their videos, and, challenging the people that, we're exposing here. So why am I doing what I'm doing? Let's go to these principles that I want to show you. I want to borrow a line today from the great American. Yesterday I spoke about Martin Luther, the reformer. Today I'm going to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. Now, Martin Luther King Jr. was named after Martin Luther. So the parents actually gave him the name because of Martin Luther, the reformer. And they gave him that name, hoping that he would become like Martin Luther. And that's exactly what he did. Martin Luther changed the world, the Christian world, and Martin Luther King also changed America through the Christian principle. So I'm going to go use his wisdom today. And these are the minds that I've studied and that have informed me to be able to live by the principles that I'm living by, which is totally different from the Nigerian principles, and why Nigerians don't understand why I'm different from them. Why is it that I won't do things the way they expect me to behave and do things? I cannot do things the way they expect me to do things, and I cannot behave the way they expect me to behave because I've learned from the greats. I know how to do things and how to bring about change. I will not come down to the level of Nigerians whereby they are saying, oh, don't criticize the elders, don't challenge them, don't do this, don't do that. I cannot, because I've been to the mountaintop and I've learned from the best. And I'm standing on the shoulders of the great, and I cannot come down from that shoulder. So Martin Luther King Jr. puts the situation with the Nigerian church perfectly when he says, rarely do we find men willing to engage in hard, solid thinking. There is an almost universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions. Nothing pains some people more than having to think. This is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Nigeria has become like this situation that Martin Luther King is talking about. Rarely do we find men willing to engage in hard, solid thinking. Now, the situation in Nigeria is that almost nobody thinks, and people don't want to think. People are too much on the surface. They are too shallow. And when they are challenging me, it's because they are challenging me from their own position of shallow-mindedness. Some people are telling me and telling me that, how could you be coming and doing what you are doing every day for so long? We thought you are going to speak for 1 month, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, and keep quiet. Because that is what the people are used to in Nigeria now. Nobody wants to do a thorough job. Nobody wants to dedicate themselves to doing a quality, persistent, and job of perseverance. So they would not. Nigeria is never seen what they are seeing with me. That I'm talking about Nigeria now for almost 1 year of nonstop, every single day. Every day, twice a day, I'm talking, or at least once a day, I'm talking on Nigeria, and I'm not backing up. I'm not backing back. And these Nigerian people have said, oh, we talk and keep quiet. Now that I'm not keeping quiet, the thing is getting hotter. And that's why people couldn't believe it. What is this? Because we have lost that capacity. We are like these people that this man is talking about here, that rarely do we find men willing to engage in hard, solid thinking. If we want to build a great country, we must begin to raise up the generation of people who are willing to engage in hard, solid thinking. And not just thinking, but in hard, solid work, in hard, solid thinking, in everything, go the hard way, do things the hard way. Not just appear on church on Sunday on the pulpit and have people bring thousands and millions to you. That is what has spoiled Christianity in Nigeria, because you don't need to do anything. Just put on your suit, appear on the pulpit on Sunday, and give some artificial and superficial message, and everybody will give you tithe. They will bring you prophet offering. They will bring you this. It's just harvesting money on an empty place, not doing anything. And look at what I am doing. What they do every Sunday, once in a Sunday, I do it every day here. And more quality teaching. And not 1 hour teaching. I'm doing 4 hours teaching every day here. And I'm not taking one offering. So nobody wants to do that. That is too hard a work to do. But until you are willing to do hard work like this, you will never build a great country. So why am I doing what I'm doing? I am doing what I'm doing to be an example. I want to show the example to the next generation of Africans who are rising, who are young, who are dreaming of a better Nigeria. That the only way to build a better country is the willingness to go the hard way, not look for easy solution, not look for, to gain something while you have not sown it, not look for getting, having something without working hard for it, not even taking any benefit, not even taking any offering, not even taking anything from anybody until you have worked hard for it. We must raise up a new generation of people that are ready to work hard and to do solid working, hard working. And people will reject money. People will reject every kind of reward until they know that they have done their best, that they deserve that money, that they deserve that profit, that they deserve that reward. That yes, until we raise up that hard-working group of men that are ready to put their whole heart and their whole strength into building a great future, until we are ready to raise up those kind of people, we are not ready to become a great country. I know what it takes to build a great nation. And the only people who can build a great nation are people who are ready to work hard, to put their whole strength into anything they do, who are ready to do solid quality work. So people are asking me, how come, Pastor Sunday, you've been able to write over 300 books? How come? Are you not a human being? That is the kind of thing we are talking about. People are so used to the mediocre in our world. And I'm not writing those kind of books that Nigerians are writing. The kind of books that Nigerians are writing, 30 pages, and they say it's a book. 30 pages, 40 pages, 20 pages. Nonsense. That kind of book, in 2 months, I wrote 100 kind of books like that in 2 months only. And they are in articles. I just call them articles. All of them about 30 pages. I'm not even talking about, my own books are 200 pages, 300 pages, 400 pages. The smallest book I have here will be about, apart from the ones I wrote about 15, 20 years ago. But the ones I've started writing right now, the smallest one will be about 200 pages, you see. We are talking about, people who are ready to work hard. What people tell me? They say, oh, it's because this man doesn't have a church anymore. I have 400 churches in Ukraine alone. In Kyiv alone, we have 40 churches. In Ukraine, in this state, in Kyiv region here, we have 60 churches. And you don't even feel it on me, as if I don't even have any church at all. Why? Because I've done quality work to prepare men who are managing all these churches without even me doing anything. And what am I doing? I am doing hard work. Just going to church to preach, that is not work. Until we can find people who are ready to do research, who are ready to work in the laboratory, who are ready to work in the library, who are ready to go the extra mile. If you are not working 18 hours, I wrote it in my book, if you are not working 18 hours a day, you don't even deserve to have any credit at all. You don't even deserve to say you deserve anything in life. You should be ready to work 18 hours a day, not at job, but on yourself, adding value to yourself, doing quality work. At least read at least 6 hours a day, 3 hours a day. Develop yourself until we can begin to raise up people who are ready to do the hard, difficult task We are not ready to build the kingdom of God. Only people who are ready to do hard, solid work, difficult task, then we are ready to build the kingdom of God. People are asking me, oh, how is it? What, why is it that all Africans who are in Europe, they cannot build they cannot build white churches or European churches? Why is it that they cannot? Africans in Germany, they don't have white church. Africans in Holland, they don't have white church. Africans in Germany, they don't have white church. Africans in America, they don't have, because white people are hard-working people. They cannot be easily fooled like Nigerians. They need, if they don't see you doing quality work, if you don't prove to them that you have something much more superior than what they have, you don't even deserve their attention at all. Especially if you're a black man, they're already looking down at you anyway. They don't respect you. They don't even believe you are a human being in the first place. So as a black man, for you to be able to win one white person to be your follower, you must develop yourself so much. You must do the hard, solid work. You must be head and shoulder above them in their own language, in their own culture, in their own history, in anything they know. You must be better than them at least 10 times before they can listen to you. So for you to see that I am coming here now, let me even tell you something else. Everything you see me hearing, everything I've done on this platform right now, yes, everything you see on my platform, you think I've done something, and you say, oh, somebody is writing, DSA, you are a genius. Frankly speaking, before God and man, everything you have seen me that I've done and I've displayed to you in these 10 years, in these 2 years, before God is my witness, it is not 1% of what I know. Not 1% of what I know. I've not even started the real topics that I wanted to teach on Facebook. I've not even gotten to it yet. Despite the fact that I have about 4,000 messages already. And I've not gotten to the ones I have. If you want, I can show you the list. I can show you the list. I've not even started. And these 4,000 messages I have, if you are not going to be listening to them every Sunday, just one Sunday alone, you need 100 years to listen to them. Before, when I was having 1,500, you need 60 years. Now, you need 100 years to listen to. If you just listen 1 hour every Sunday, you need 100 years. But if you listen 3 hours every day, then you can do it for the next 5 years. But if you just listen 1 hour alone every Sunday, you need 100 years. This is what I've just put out, and that is not even the beginning of the topics. So somebody is asking me, so if you stop talking about this Nigerian topic, what will you say? Will you have anything to say? You don't know who you have met. You don't even know who you have encountered. You don't even know. You don't even have an idea who God has brought your way. You think I've done anything yet? Okay. It's just like my friend. I have a friend. Maybe she's watching now. Ireti is her name, from Nigeria. When she was here when I started my live broadcast. So Ireti was here when I was doing when I said I'm going to be coming out every day. After I said that, Ireti came to me and said, Pastor, she was kneeling down on her knees and said, Pastor, please don't do it every day. I said, why? He said, please don't do it, because I've been into these churches every time. Even pastor that doesn't preach every day, pastor preaches every Sunday. And by the time you go to that church for 1 year or 2 years, you already know everything. That is just every Sunday. But now you are saying you want to come every day. No, Pastor, no, out you. No, she stood on her knees and said, Pastor, please, I beg you, please, do it at least once a week. Even that once a week is too much, because later on you'll be repeating yourself. So after I did it for 1 year, and she was coming every day to listen, then I said, so what did you say? She said, Pastor, I've never seen anything like this before. He said, are you a human being? I don't think you're a human being, though. I've not seen you repeat anything. I'm the one now that is having problem. She said, I am now the one who is having problem. I said, what's your problem? She said, I cannot listen at enough time. I'm the one who cannot make it to come and be listening. That is why, so when somebody comes to me and say, you don't know what you are talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm able to convince the whole world to respect me, to listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm able to write 300 books. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm coming out twice a day and I'm not repeating myself for 2 years. And I've not even started in the topic that I have, in the list that I have. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I have all my churches in Europe are white people. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm being invited to the United Nations, to the United Senate of the United States to talk about something. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's all because for anybody to make a difference, real difference, so not just some anyhow difference, you need to be a hard, solid worker. A hard, solid worker. That is the kind of people we need to change Nigeria. Somebody that will walk. In fact, you know, when I was doing pastoring, just everyday pastoring work, I used to change drivers thrice a day. 3 drivers need to serve me a day. Because when we work 6 hours, he will say, he's sleeping, falling asleep. I will change the second one. The one he's already gone. Third one, because I worked 18 hours a day minimum. Still 6 hours each driver. This is how if you really want to change your world, that's what Martin Luther King knows. So Martin Luther King says, rarely do we find men willing to engage in hard, solid thinking, including working in hard, solid thinking. Hard, solid thinking. Hard, solid thinking. If we want to change Nigeria, we need those kind of solid people, hard workers. So that's what he's talking about here. That is what Martin Luther King is talking about. That rarely do we find men. It's a tragedy of a country when a country doesn't have men willing to engage in hard, solid thinking. Right now, what we have is quick answer, quick solution. There is an almost universal quest for easy answers. That is Nigeria's situation. Easy answers and half-baked solutions. That is exactly what Nigeria is going through right now. We have become a nation of easy answers and half-baked solutions. And one of the reasons why we have become like that is because of the pastors. Because they are telling you about breakthrough every day. They are telling you about breakthrough. They are telling you about miracles. They are telling you about lay hands on something, prophetic offering and prophetic pronunciation. Just anything to make you quick. Solution center, solution chapel, all kind of solution. It is the downfall of the world. When the world is now looking for easy answers, half-baked solution, that is the downfall of that country. When a whole country is now after easy answers and half-baked solution, that country is about to die. That country is destroyed from within. That country is falling apart. That is why Western countries, they are a country of hard, solid work, hard work. The reason America is great, they are addicted to work. Europe is great, they are addicted to hard, solid work. Unless we become like that, nothing will ever come out of us. So there is an almost universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions. Nothing pains some people more than having to think. Some others, unfortunately, nothing pains some people more than having to think. And that is the tragedy of our time right now. People don't want to think. People don't want to work hard. People don't know how to do solid answers. Solid work anymore. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. That is the reason. For you to get any result, we must find people. And why I am doing what I'm doing, I want to be an example. I want to be an example for people who will learn that this is the only way to come to greatness. The only way to come to greatness is through hard, solid work. Hard, solid work. And the culture that is already admitted and embraced in Nigeria, the culture of universal quest for easy answers, that culture of easy answer must be rejected. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That quest for half-baked solution must be rejected. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that pain, that unwillingness to think, to go through hard, solid thinking must be rejected. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I am showing myself forth as an example. So when you see me, go through any of my series. When you go through my series, you will see that when Pastor Sunday begins to undo one topic, I do a thorough work. Why am I doing that? To show an example to my country of how to build great nation, great people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. When we need to confront people against unrighteousness, stand for the truth, I'm doing it with all my gusto, with all my energy, to show an example to the next generation that is coming, that yes, this is the way to become great on earth. You don't become great on earth by compromising. You don't become great on earth by being afraid of controversy. You don't become great on earth by being afraid of scandals. You don't become great on earth by being afraid of people spoiling your name, or people saying you are not perfect, or people attacking your character. No, you become great on earth by working hard. You become great on earth by standing for the truth. You become great on earth by standing for what is right. You become great on earth by giving your heart to it. You become great on earth by giving yourself full commitment to whatsoever you know is right. And this man, Martin Luther King, he knew what it means. And that is how he was able to make his mark in America. And that is why he was able to change America for good. For anybody that will change their generation, they must reject half-baked solutions, easy answers, and they must embrace hard, solid work, and especially in the area of thinking. Martin Luther knows the secret of greatness. And anybody in our generation today that wants to become great, you must reject all those messages that are coming from Nigerian pulpits. All those half-baked messages must be rejected. And you must embrace the real mission, the real passion, hard, solid work, especially in the area of thinking. Not looking for offering, not looking for, gifts, not looking for some money from people for what you have not done. Do work. Be the best in everything you will do. That is exactly why I am doing what I'm doing. I'm showing the example of consistency. You know what it means to be 365 days in a year, to be coming out twice a day. 365 days, not to miss one day. Not to miss one day. Not even to take a break for one day. Despite having all these responsibilities of myself and not getting something. Because people are telling me in Nigeria, nobody will do that. I said, why? Because without your own, what they will ask, what is in there for me? And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that you will know that you don't need to put your interests first. You don't need to put to say what is in there for me at all. If you are going to be saying, if you are having the mentality of what is in there for me, then you will never become great. All the people that become great in this world, they don't ask what is in there for me. And they don't ask also, what do I stand to lose? Because if I were to think of what I stand to lose, I would not be doing what I'm doing now. Can you imagine that I could call, before I started doing this thing, I could pick up my phone and call Oyedepo and he will come to the telephone. I could call Adelaja and he will come to the telephone. I could call any minister in this world, in Nigeria, and they will come to the telephone. But now I know that by doing what I'm doing, I lose that. I know what I stand to lose, but I'm standing here to show you an example that even if you need to lose everything with mine, even if you need to lose everything, but as long as you are standing for the truth, as long as we are standing for the cause of God, this is the right way to live. You don't live by compromising your position. You don't live by compromising the truth. You don't live by compromising righteousness. You go and pay the price of truth. You go and pay the price of righteousness, even if the whole world will turn against you. But you will know that God will stand on your side. Because it doesn't matter who is against you as long as God is on your side. It doesn't matter who is against you, who you turn against, who turn against you as long as God is on your side. But if God is against you, it doesn't matter how many people you are able to please or how many people you are able to bring to your side. So why am I doing what I'm doing? I am doing this intentionally. Showing example. I know that some people are watching me and some people will follow suit because they will see that this is righteousness. This is truth. This guy is standing on the path of truth, no matter what. Even if they are not seeing me today, one day, The world will acknowledge what I'm doing. The next generation, another generation that is coming, they will notice what I'm doing. That this is the way to live. This is the way to live. This is the way to live the significant life. This is the way to live the great life. This is the way to live the righteous life. To be on the side of God no matter what the price and the consequences is. So it doesn't matter who you are going to offend. Elders, or pastors, or GOs, or powerful men, or government men. If you are standing on the side of the truth, you are the most powerful man on earth. And God will raise you from the dust, and He will make your voice to be more powerful than the voices of those who have been there for ages, than the voices of those who you are fearing. What about if I had feared the consequences of what I'm doing, and I would have stopped doing it? I would have still had those friends, but my voice will still be behind, and their voice will be in front. But because I didn't fear that, I said, right now, when it comes to Nigerian Christianity, it is either that the priest's name you will hear or Pastor Sunday's name. I'm overcoming the voice of the people I was fearing yesterday, or I would have feared yesterday. God will honor you when you are ready to do the hard work, when you are ready to pay the price of righteousness, of truth. Nothing is as great as that. When you are ready to pay the price of righteousness, of hard, solid work, nothing is as great as that. This man, he knows the secret of it. He knows what it means. So I've learned from the great. I've learned from the best. And so I cannot be bought. I cannot be compromised. I am not going to change my mind. I am going to do what is right in my generation for the people following after me to be able to know how to live a great life and how to leave a footprint in the time of in the sand of history. Let me show you another quotation today. George Orwell. I'm sure most of you have heard of George Orwell. He's the one who wrote Animal Farm, and he's also the one who wrote 1984. Okay, most of you must have heard of that. So let's hear what George Orwell has to say. With sadness in my heart, I will have to concede that the words of George Orwell can be said of our Nigerian Christian community today. So what does George Orwell have to say that relates to our Nigerian Christian community today? George Orwell, this is the man, this is the picture here. He says, the further a society or a group of people drift from truth, the more it will hate those that speak it. Am I hated in Nigeria today? Is the biggest compliment that I'm hated, because that is a testament to them that they hate truth and they have drifted away from truth. And the more and the farther they are from the truth, the more they will hate me. The more they hate me, the more they testify to the fact that I stand on the side of truth and they are drifting away from truth. Do you want to know the reason why I'm not afraid of their hatred? Because I know what is happening. I know too much to be intimidated by their hatred. I know too much to be afraid of their hatred, because I know the more a society or a country drifts away from the truth, the more it hates those that speak it. It is rather a testament for me when they hate me. When they hate me is my biggest compliment. I am not afraid of their hatred. I am not afraid of their controversy. I am not afraid of their anger. I am not afraid of whatever insult they throw at me. It is a testament to me, a testimony to the fact that they hate the truth and I stand on the side of the truth. So it is a compliment to me that they are hating me. It is a compliment to me that they are angry at me. I have learned from the greats. I have learned from the greats. And I'm standing on the shoulder of the greats. I will never go back and succumb to the primitive thinking of our people. I will never go back and succumb to the primitive mindset of fearing the elders or so-called respecting the elders at the price of the truth. No, 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 no. My allegiance will always be on the side of truth. Yes, Socrates is my friend, Plato is my friend, but my greatest friend is the truth. And those people that hate the truth, they will hate me. It's a compliment. That is what Jesus said. He said, if you have loved the truth, you will recognize me. You will know me. If you have been the children of my father, if you had belonged to my father, you would have recognized me. Now that you don't recognize me and you hate me, that is a testament to the fact that you belong to your father, the devil, who is a liar, who did not stand in the truth and who could not stand in the truth. But if you had known the truth, if you have loved the truth, you would have known me. You would have recognized me. I am not intimidated by those people who cannot hear the name of Sunday Adelaja, who cannot stand by my message, because I don't need them. I don't need people who cannot stand in the truth, because they belong to their father. The only person who could not stand in the truth according to Jesus, it is Satan. Satan could not stand in the truth. So I don't need the accolades and the support of those people who cannot stand in the truth. The only people that I want on this platform are the people who love the truth more than their reputation. The only people that I desire to follow after my message are the people who love the truth. They are ready to risk their reputation for it. They are ready to risk their names for it. They are ready to lose their comfort for it. They are ready to pay the price for the truth. If they can stand the test of truth, if they can stand and withstand the truth, then they belong to the same kingdom as me. I don't just need crowd to follow me. I need people of truth to follow me. If they don't have the love of truth in them, they don't need me, and I don't need them. And when they attack me, it is like clapping for me. It is like cheering me up, because I remember the words of George Orwell. The further a society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. I will keep on speaking the truth. Let them keep on hating me. It's a testament to the fact that they have drifted away from the truth. That is not my problem. That is their problem. Let me show you a scripture that will confirm another of my beliefs. Job 32, verses 18 to 21 says, "For I am full of words. The spirit within me constrains me." You know, I told you that what I've done so far, that it would take 100 years for you to listen to it if you listen 1 hour a day, that it is nothing compared to all the list of messages that I still have. You see, because I am full of words. The spirit within me constrains me. My belly is like unvented wine, like new wineskins. It is about to burst. That's how I'm feeling. I am loaded for my generation. I am loaded for the kingdom of God. God has built a reservoir in this place, and it is time right now to burst out for the world to feed from me. Come and drink. It is like that river that Jesus spoke about, that for if you believe in me, out of your belly there will flow the river of living water. That is exactly what Job was talking about here. My belly is like unvented wine, like new wineskin. It is about to burst. That's what I'm feeling. And that's why I've been talking for 2 years now, without stopping. 6 hours a day for 2 years. No stopping. And I'm still feeling that my belly is like unvented wine, like new wineskin. It is about to burst. I must speak so that I may get relief. I will open my lips and answer. I will not be partial to any man. I will not look at any man, either their GOs or their bishops or their elders or their presidents or their whoever they are. I will not be partial to any man. That is, let my respect for you mitigate what I say. I will not allow my respect for you to mitigate what I say. I still respect the elders, I still respect the fathers, I still respect the GOs, but I will not allow my respect for them to mitigate what I say, nor flatter any man. For I am full of words. My spirit within me, the spirit within me constrains me. My belly is like unvented wine, like new wineskin. It is about to burst. And I've been busting for 2 years, and I've just started. And I want to be an example. for new generation of Christians. I invited some young people to feature on my platform. Yes, those people, Timileyin Joseph, Ofobuike, and Ofobuike Okoli, and Don Chukwuemeka. Those three people, they are in their 20s, all of them. And you know what? They are a delight for me. And I'm sure it is for them that I'm working. This new generation of people. Let them see the example of how to come up on stage. Don't just come up half-baked. Don't just come up half-prepared. Don't just be a surface person, but be so deep, be so thorough. Let your preparation be impeccable. When you open your mouth, everybody can drink from the river of life that's coming from you. You'll be talking for 6 hours every day for 2 years, and you will not be repeating yourself. Everybody will just be listening to you as if they've never had anything. That is the kind of thorough work. That's the next generation of Nigerians that we need, that will raise up that country. That is how we must be to be better than other countries. That is the kind of new people, new breed of Nigerians that we need. But what do we have today? More, what they call those people who laugh, who are laughing, jokers, or what they call them, comedians. Nigerians are now becoming a generation of people that are now feeding on comedians. A country where comedians are becoming richer than intellectuals. A country where comedians are becoming richer than professors. A country where comedian is making in 1 year than the whole budget for a university. Those are the kind of evil value system that we have. A country where R&B, yes. In a country where R&B artists are making more than any decent human being. When R&B people are now the biggest rich men in the country, that is an insult. So I am becoming an example for the new generation of people that they should prepare themselves to set themselves free from the frivolity of their age, to set themselves free from the trivialities of this new age, and become like Job, and become like men, like Jesus, whose belly will be like a river full of words, that people that will be full of words, whose spirit will just be constraining them, people whose belly will be like unvented wine, like new wineskin that is about to burst, who will be so loaded, People who will be so loaded with knowledge, who will be so loaded with revelation knowledge, with wisdom, not just in spiritual stuff, but in everything, that you will be called upon by everybody. When I finished my master's degree in journalism, I was invited to Ireland to come and work for the International Society of Journalists. Then I was invited to Switzerland to come and be their representative, for World Press Association. I was called everywhere. Then I accepted the call from America to come and be the representative here in Ukraine. That's how I came to Ukraine. You'll be hot cake everywhere when you are the best in whatever you do. And that's what I'm showing. When you take my book, take any of my books and read, you will see that you will never read any book on the subject. Any of my book that you will read will be the best you have ever read on the subject. I bet you. There is no book of mine that you will read that you have seen anybody who has written a better book on that subject. Now, the grammar might not be perfect because some of them are translated from English from Russian to English, but the content of it will be something that, it doesn't matter who you are, professor or anything, it will be the best thing that has ever happened to you. And my message is too, I am not just talking. Have you ever listened to me and you think, oh, I've heard that message before? Never. Everything is fresh from above. Maybe you have had one thing, little thing, but the whole content of it, you've never had it before. Any message, every single message is an original water coming from above. That is how all of us should be. We should be ready, ever ready to do hard and solid work on ourselves. Self-development, self-education. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So for those Nigerians who don't understand me, I don't care. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. Because I know what I'm doing. I am laying a new foundation for a new generation of people. I am laying a new foundation for a new generation of people. I am laying a new foundation for a new generation of people. I am laying a new foundation for a new generation of people. I am laying a new foundation for a new generation of people. I am laying a new foundation for a new Nigeria, for a new Africa. All these elders that have gone before us, they have destroyed the land. They have destroyed the church. They have destroyed the nation. They have destroyed our continent. We need new examples. We need new examples. And I am laying myself out there like a ladder for people to climb on and to know how things are supposed to be done. I am laying myself out there like a bridge. Come and fly and try and ride upon this bridge. Ride upon this bridge. And, go up and down to your destiny. Fulfill your destiny. Use me to fulfill your destiny. Use me. Climb me to the height that God has for you. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm laying myself down as a bridge. I'm laying myself down as a ladder for you to climb to what God wants you to do. We need new examples of excellence. We need new examples of leadership. We need new examples of greatness. And if anybody say, what has he done? I've done what no human being has done in Europe for the past 200 years. After the Wesley brothers, nobody has built a church as great as I've built in Europe. And that is a fact of history. It's not about me. And no black man has built a church like I've built in Europe, in the all of history of human life, human existence. No black man has built the kind of church in the whole world. We have to have about in a country almost 100,000 people, only 99% white people. It has never been done in history. So that is a proof that hard work pays. Hard, solid work pays. If is it going to be intellectuals, see the Bible, see the books I've written. It's not just some copying one another or different topics. My right, list of topics. See the disciples that I've raised up. 34% of the parliament of this city, of the capital city of Ukraine, were from my church. The governor of the federal government, of the federal capitals, was a member of our church. The chief judge of the nation was a member of our church. 200 millionaires in 3 years. These things come through hard work. Hard, solid work. You know what it takes to go to Japanese parliament? All of them were Confucianists, or what they call them, Confucius. That's their religion, Confucius. All of them Confucius. I'm not talking about getting people saved in the street who are just, cattle rearers or tomato sellers. I went into their parliament, and before I get out of that parliament, 6 parliamentarians and senators gave their lives in Japan. Israel, as a country, this Netanyahu that you are seeing here, the president of it, he sent a plane to get me by myself from London. He sent a plane to come and pick me. I was in London again. We are going to send a plane. It's in history. I was sitting on the same board with Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett. Those things are not fluke. You don't just come to those places out of nowhere. It's hard work, hard and solid work. And I don't like to talk about myself because people are saying it's bragging. But there might be some times when it's necessary. Because some people might not know who you are, and they might not know where you are coming from. Sometimes it might be necessary. Just to confirm that the principles of truth will take you anywhere. And when you act to that hard and solid work, and faithfulness to truth, not be afraid of anything, nothing can stop you. I think I've been talking for too long today. Let me show you my last principle before I go today. Fear achieves nothing. Faith moves mountains. That's another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to show to my countrymen that I will not fear. You don't see any grain of fear on me. Do you know that some people will even call me on this my program and say, Pastor, DSA, don't be afraid. I say, are they seeing fear in me? If you are going to talk about fear, it's not a DSO. If you are going to talk about fear, I don't even know what it looks like. Does it look like headache? Or it looks like feet pain or what? Tooth pain. How does fear sound like? I don't even have a taste of it. I'm too in depth in truth. I'm too committed to the truth. I'm too buried in truth to know even to be a fear, to even be aware of what fear means. The only person I fear is God, because he's the only one who can kill the body and the soul. Why should I be afraid of somebody who has his life in his nostril? It's all Nigerians who are coming to tell me, Adelaja, how could you mention his name? This Oyedepo, Pastor, I said, what are you all from? What's wrong with you guys? And I thank God for Mayowa, because Mayowa is helping me to prove to you that it is not just me. You can believe and embrace the truth and become like myself. And Mayowa is like me now. She is like me. She is even more fierce than me. You can lose the sensation of fear, because fear achieves nothing. Faith moves mountain. You know, there is one John. I don't know if he's in Canada now. He met me 13 years ago when I said I don't have time for Nigeria yet, that God is not telling me to face Nigeria yet, but I'm praying that God will challenge me to face Nigeria, that if God will make me to go to Nigeria, that I will change that country, that one single-handedly. Somebody say, don't say you now, say we. They say, people will not understand. They will think you are proud or you are arrogant. Don't say, If you are still afraid of what people are thinking about you, is that not the same fear we are talking about? I'm saying I because I know what I'm talking about. I'm saying I because I am talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else. I cannot talk for another person. I cannot talk for you. I can talk for me. God has become so real to me that I told him 13 years ago that if God will make me, just give me attention to go to Nigeria. I don't need anybody right now. Just me alone. I'm ready. And I alone is enough to change that country. He said, when I heard GSA say that, I said, this guy doesn't know what I said. And yes, I know. He said, yes, I give you credit. You have changed Ukraine. You have changed Europe, but Ukraine. But Nigeria, you don't even know what Nigeria is. You don't even know what you are talking about. He said, but now he called back. He called last month or 2 months ago. He said, now that I see that you have not even stepped in Nigeria yet, and the country is already being turned upside down, then I know that, DSA. He said, DSA, DSA, You know, I want to confess that I doubted you. He said, I didn't believe you. He said, this guy doesn't know what Nigeria is. This guy doesn't know what Nigeria is. He said, but now, I am seeing what is happening already. He said, I would never doubt this guy again. That is what hard and solid work will deliver to you. Because you know what you are talking about. You have done your own work. Between I and you, this is not bragging. What gives me the confidence to be able to do this? Maybe I wouldn't have been able to do this if I have not gone through the preparation I've gone through. Between me and God, God is my witness. I have spent 20 years of my life not missing 1 week in a month. For the past 20 years, I will take 1 week out of my life just to be alone with God. I'm praying for 14, 18 hours. For 20 years of my past life, from 20 years of my life. Or I'm 50 years old, 20 years of those 50 years, it has been to dedicate at least 1 week alone with God, between 3 to 7 days, 14 hours, 18 hours in the presence of God every day for 1 week out of the 4 weeks you have in a month. So everybody, we have 4 weeks in a month. 1 week will just be me alone. By the time I did that consecutively for 8 years, I was floating. I see Jesus anytime that I want to see him. I don't even need to pray. Because it's like God became my flesh, became closer to my flesh than myself. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm coming from another place. So when people are now telling me and say, Pastor, They have gone to pray for 40 days. They are doing 40 days on you. I don't even hear. I don't even hear them. I don't even have time for them. I don't even have time for them. I've gone beyond that. That is for chickens. It's not for eagles. We soar in the high place. And I'm saying all this for the benefit of the next generation that are listening to me. Immerse yourself in God. Immerse yourself in truth. Don't be shy away from hard work. Don't be shy from hard work. Confront yourself. Challenge yourself. Do hard and solid work. Do preparation work. Up till today, I'm still studying at least, doing self-education for 3 hours a day, minimum. That is when I am busy. But when I'm free, at least 6 hours a day. Once you have done your preparation, once you are ready, it will not be a big deal for you to confront Oyedepo, Adelaja, and all these other people. And these things are just the beginning for me. You wait till I get to Nigeria. I will not even be talking about church again. I will be confronting other forces. But now is the time for what I'm doing. When I finish doing that, you will see other things happening. I have not even started doing anything right now compared to the plans that I have in place. God help us. Amen. So I think I'm through for today. Let me just show you that confirmation again. That thing again. Fear achieves nothing. Faith moves mountains. Believe God. Have faith in God. Have faith in yourself. Dish fear. Forget about fear. Don't fear man. Don't fear death. Don't fear for yourself. Believe in God. Have faith in God. Believe also in yourself. And sky will be the limit. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry I took too much time today. I don't know what came upon me. Maybe some people might need it. Maybe it is necessary for some people. God might be trying to talk to some people. Okay, can you see it already? The topic of today is Bishop Oyedepo is robbing the poor, yet mocking them. Okay, we are going to go to the video now. I'm so weary of what I did today because I'm afraid some people, not like I'm afraid, I'm just thinking, I hope some people will not misunderstand that to be bragging. That's why I don't talk about these things, because some people even say, talk about it because it's testimony, but I just think, maybe I should, because some people will say, okay, he's proud, he's talking. So I finished doing it, but I'm still thinking, I hope some people will not mistake it to means, I just hope so. I just hope people will. I hope it will be inspiration. Yes. That's what I meant it for to be inspiration to other people. Okay, let's go to Pastor Oyedepo now.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it. By their spiritual understanding, naturally live above it. Our church system naturally lives above it. We can't feel it. It's not near where we live. It's not close by any standard. Why? Operating the terms of the covenant has put us supernaturally circumstances, so we can't feel it. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it. By their spiritual understanding, naturally live above it. Our church system naturally lives above it. We can't feel it. It's not near where we live. It's not close by any standard. Why? Operating the terms of the covenant has put us supernaturally above those circumstances, so we can't feel it. So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it. By their spiritual understanding, naturally live above it. Our church system naturally lives above it. We can't feel it. It's not near where we live. It's not close by any standard. Why? Operating the terms of the covenant has put us supernaturally above those circumstances, so we can't feel it.
Okay, stop.
So
maybe you people didn't understand what this man is talking about. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. This man is robbing the poor and still putting them down, making them to feel as if they are inferior, they are second class. He's still blaming them for it. Taking your money and still accusing you, why are you poor? Enriching himself through you, and then still laughing at you or mocking you. Let's listen to it again. Let's analyze. Let's do a little analysis.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour.
Stop. So he's talking about financial fortune, that it is real. And he's using his own life and his ministry as an example that financial fortune is easy. And that the heat of the hour, which is as austerity in Nigeria, economic problem in Nigeria, the crisis, not everybody is feeling it. Because he has entered into, he has fulfilled the conditions of the covenant. Some spiritual covenant of wealth and financial fortune. He has fulfilled it. And his church and him, that financial difficulty doesn't come near them at all. But the same people that you are accusing that they have not fulfilled the financial condition for fortune, or the covenant, the spiritual covenant for fortune. Are they not the ones who gave you the money that you are using? Where that money that you are having, did God send them through Angel Gabriel? Did he print naira and dollar and put them in your account? No, you are the one robbing people, collecting offering, and now that they are all poor, you are now turning around to say it's because they have not fulfilled the covenant, some financial covenant for fortune, and you have fulfilled the financial fortune covenant, and that's why you don't have any problem financially. But it is people's money. You yourself, I've shown you this week, everybody, where he himself was saying that in 1982, is it 82? 82, in August, that their whole budget was 383 naira. 382 naira. In a month, 300 naira. So where did all the other wealth come from? Is it not from people bringing offering and tithe that you have told them to do? Sacrifice this, sacrifice that. And now you are saying they have not fulfilled the covenant. So the poverty in the country, the difficulty, the heat of the hour. Who is not feeling the heat of the hour in that country, Nigeria? My sister, you just came from there. Who is not feeling that? Who is a normal human being? Everybody is feeling it. Even the economy, even Nigeria itself is feeling it. Even the federal government is feeling the heat of the hour. State governments are feeling the heat of the hour. But he's saying the truth. Our ministry, we don't feel it. But it's also a lie. You want to tell me there is nobody in that ministry who is feeling the heat of the hour? You want to tell me there is nobody in that ministry who is feeling the heat of the hour? Who is feeling the economic hardship in that country? Nobody in that whole church who is feeling the heat of the hour? Of course, he's not talking about himself. He's talking about himself and his family. And he's saying it's the old ministry. But these old ministry people that he's talking about, that they don't feel the heat of the hour, I know personally people from that ministry who cannot send their children to school. Even to their own school, to that covenant, they cannot send their children. And they said that nobody is feeling the heat of the hour in their ministry. Even pastors cannot afford to send their children to school there. And he's saying nobody is feeling the heat of the hour in his ministry. The guy is sick. He's living in his own illusion. He's living in his own world of illusion, that because he's saying our ministry, but by our ministry, because for example, when I say our ministry, I am thinking of all our members. When I say our ministry, I'm talking of all our members, our pastors, our staff, our members. But he is talking about our ministry, thinking about himself alone and his wife. Because he has privatized that whole ministry. He doesn't count people as people.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it.
Stop.
By their spiritual
not everybody will ever feel it. Let everybody in that winner's chapel right now stop bringing the money. Let them stop bringing tithe and offering. Let them stop bringing prophet offering. Let them stop bringing all those other sacrificial, whatever you call it. Let them stop bringing. And you will see, he's saying it's some spiritual, what would they call it, covenant. So they have contacted spiritual covenant. That is why you don't feel, hey, oh no, me. It is some spiritual covenant. That is why you are not feeling it. So, no, I don't get it. If it is by spiritual covenant, that nobody, some people will never ever feel this thing. So you mean, even if you don't collect tithe offering at all, some spiritual covenant will make you not to feed the economic situation. Even if you don't collect tithe and offering, you mean if everybody in that winner's chapel now will stop bringing tithe and offering to the church, you will still not feel anything. So because some spiritual covenant. I think this guy is just doing, it's just rough. I think he just want to confuse everybody. Just say some words to confuse, to just make everybody confused so that you don't even know what to believe again. Start that thing again. Yes.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it.
Stop. Spiritual understanding. Wait. By spiritual understanding to live above economic. So it is spiritual understanding that's making. Wait. By spiritual understanding, you will not feel economic condition of the country. Spiritual understanding live above economic crisis. Spiritual. What is spiritual? Spiritual includes money. Spiritual. Do you get money from the spirit these days? Spiritual understanding will bring you finances. Then why are you calling for offering? So, spiritual understanding. Because of spiritual understanding, some people don't feel the economic difficulty in the country. And because of the spiritual understanding, some people will never feel it. Spiritual understanding. What is that? Spiritual. So you mean, because of your own spiritual understanding now, let's say all churches of Winners Chapel all over the world, they stop remitting money. Let them all stop remitting money for 1 year. We don't feel it and we never ever feel it. And let's close Winners Chapel altogether everywhere now and feed on the spiritual understanding. Let the money be coming from spiritual understanding now. Because of spiritual understanding. So people will be sitting down in that church and be saying, spiritual understanding. How can they get that thing? So that's when we will now tell them, you bring money, they will be bringing. Why are you collecting people's money if it is spiritual understanding? Leave people now who are not having spiritual understanding, at least to live their to eat their own money, to use their money the way they understand. They don't have spiritual understanding, so why take their money? So this thing is what I want to show you here. So if it is spiritual understanding, look at this thing here. Why is it that Oyedepo is printing this thing out for people? Channels for giving. If it is spiritual understanding that makes you to live above spiritual economic crisis and economic situation, why are you telling people to go to ATM, giving on the ATM, using your ATM debit card? Why are you telling people how to get money to you? Since it's spiritual understanding, let the money be coming from spiritual understanding now. Why are you making money to give people? Because ATM means those people have money in the ATM. And it has to be debit card, though, which means money is already their debit. It's not, so it means that people will now put this thing in and follow the instruction, insert card in ATM, select quick teller option, select pay bills, select order, type in the biller code, and then give general offering. So if you already have the spiritual understanding whereby you will not feel economic pressure at all money will come to you that you need. Why do you need the money from ATM of people to be given to general offering, sacrificial offering, project offering, prophet offering, Shiloh offering, transport offering? And then they have to type in their mobile number as reference, confirm payment, provide mobile number for SMS received. If ATM has paper, receive paper. Then number 2, internet quick tell, donations on the internet using your ATM card, visit quick teller, go to search. Why are you giving people instruction on how to give you more money? Then go to mobile USSD. This allows you to pay from any mobile phone by dialing. This is what they are giving to people all over in England, though, and they should dial this thing, and this is the ID something. Why are you making people to be giving their money, that the money that they work hard for? Why are you devising? Why are you devising all means of payment, local web payment? Why are you devising all these ways of collecting people money? Worshippers, they said this allows worshippers to use their local card, Worth, MasterCard, and Visa on the church website. Worshippers log into church. Some people are saying it is not their church. Is it not their church? faithtabernacle.org, Nigeria. Is it not their church? This is their church now. So why are you making people enter all details and select Naira currency, select pay with quicker teller? Why are you? Then another one, international web payment. Worshippers log into church website, Faith Tabernacle. And why are you devising this? Winners. There's another one they call it Winners Pay app. Is that not Winners? What church is that? Winners? Is that not a church? So winners and worshippers download the Winners Pay app from Google Play Store. Worshippers have 2 options. Why are you bank branch? Why are you? So let's go back to the video. You said you have spiritual understanding. Some people will never feel the economic the pressure and the hard times because of spiritual understanding. And let's leave you with spiritual understanding now, so that you will not feel anything. Lie. This one have killed Nigeria with lie. This one have killed Nigeria with lie. These people don't kill that country with lie. So it is not normal life you live, just spiritual understanding. You will not feel the economic something. Let's hear that man again.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding.
By spiritual, what is that? By spiritual understanding, you will not feel economic crisis, economic problem, economy, which is physical, economy, which is cash. By spiritual, who tell you that it is spiritual, that you understand that brings spiritual, more economic prosperity? So which spiritual understanding does Bill Gates have? Which spiritual understanding does Mark Zuckerberg have not to feel because the people who don't really feel economic pressure, those people. But which spiritual something do they have? Carlos Slim, which spiritual understanding is making them not to feel it? Maybe somebody of you can explain, some of you can explain this thing to me. Because me, I don't know that it's spiritual understanding that is making Bill Gates and others not to have economic problem. Because it says some people don't feel it, and some people will not feel it because of spiritual, something they have contacted. That's why all Nigerians are going to church and praying. 40 days fast, 30 days fast, 20 days fast. They want to contact some spiritual understanding. Because they remember the bishop was in a 18-hour vision in a hotel. And that's why it will never be poor again. So you too, you must go to some spiritual understanding and be, so that you will never be poor again. Spiritual. Instead of people to go study the laws of money, the principles of wealth creation, they are believing these lies that is spiritual understanding that doesn't make you to have economic problem. Let's start that thing again. This man is just saying all kind of rubbish to mesmerize people's mind. Let me hear again.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour.
Stop.
No.
So financial fortune is real. I know the way it is real is because you are collecting people's money. Finish. That's why I understand. Of course it's real. Financial fortune is real for you because millions of people are bringing money to you. Of course it's real. And I know the amount. 20 billion naira a month. 10% of that goes to your personal account. Of course, financial something is real because of that. But he is now saying, no, he didn't mention that. It is spiritual contamination or understanding that he has. That and he's giving people instruction how to use ATM and everything and to give all their money to him. And he's saying it is spiritual. What is spiritual about ATM? What is spiritual about ATM? These people don't kill Shelo. They don't kill man. They don't kill man. Is that all over again? Let me hear that man again. Maybe I need to hear him.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour.
I know why.
No. And not everybody will ever feel it.
I know why.
There are people that by spiritual under.
The reason isn't not because you are collecting people's money from the poor and everybody else. You are robbing the whole country. That's why you are not feeling it. Because by the time we say not everybody is feeling, you'll be thinking in your mind, maybe there is something I'm not doing. No, not everybody is feeling it. All these people are not feeling this economic hardship. Maybe it is me. Maybe it is my problem. What is it I still need to do? I have brought my house. I have brought my car. I have brought my what they call it, first fruit. I have brought my tithe. I have brought my sacrifice, what the Shiloh sacrifice. I have brought that. Yeah, but not everybody. You mean some people are not feeling this thing? Because of spiritual. Bishop, tell me. You are making people to feel guilty. You are making people to condemn themselves. You are making people to feel inferior. You are making people to feel that they are something they don't know, that they are something that is not revealed to them, that they are not close to God enough. And they will be going to the mountain. They will be fasting. And that's what it tells them. It is because you have not gone for evangelism. Money due. Money due. Where is those money due? Afternoon due. It's because you have not gone for money due. Go to money due. It's some spiritual understanding you are not doing. That is why you are not having this something. So you will begin to tell them you have not gone for evangelism in the morning before you go to work. Leave your children at home. Don't send them. Don't go and spend time with your husband in bed. Wake up 5 o'clock. Go and pray in the morning. They said they have every morning 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. So let me see some of the things they are doing. They might bullshit. So they will tell you declaring operation bring many. It's because you have not gone through big. Have you gone to bring many? You have not gone to do. That's why you are having an economic problem now. The economic thing is real because you have not done that. Then they will go come with another one tomorrow and say, hey, it's because you are not doing this one. You say, but I've paid my tithe. But apart from tithe, I'm worried about bringing many. How many people have you brought this month? And you have not brought many. You don't know that you are building Oyedepo's kingdom. It is not about anybody's. It is Oyedepo's kingdom you are building. They will say, they will keep on coming with new projects, new reason why you are not being blessed. Then they will tell you there is another one. No, I thought you brother. Yeah. They will tell you declaring winners satellite fellowship, every house, everywhere mandate. Have you opened your house home group? No, I've not opened it. Okay. Have you opened your house for fellowship? No. That's why you are not having the breakthrough. Go and open your house for home group. Put everywhere. Go and open something. It's a mandate. Go and do it. So people are just being mesmerized. So you'll be thinking that it's because maybe I've done that one. I've not done this one. It's just what is left for me to do. Maybe there is something I've not done yet. Maybe you see that is because they are making people to think that it is some spiritual something that is responsible for hardship, economic hardship that they have not feeling. Then they will say, okay, have you done this one? Embarking on evening and morning gospel rates. So 5 o'clock in the morning, you go for prayers till 6, and from 7, you go for evangelism before you go to work. You have husband, you have wife, you have children, you have people to send to school, you have job, you have shop. You cannot go and do it because these psychopaths are bringing up all kind of program for you. You go for morning raid, then you go for evening raid also. Raid. I know why it is raid. Raid is thief, is like robbery. The armed robbers that are raiding everywhere. It is raid. It is armed robbery terminology that they are using. And it is true. They are armed robbers. And this man is armed robber and he's teaching people to do the same thing. So, they just begin to tell you it is because you have not done something. Then they will say, have you done that? Nije. It's because you have not done this one. One winner, one soul every month. Have you done that? I've not done it. I paid my tithe. I paid my offering. Have you done the one winner, one soul? They will begin to tell you that these are the spiritual reasons why you are not getting the breakthrough. So that's how they control people. That there are some spiritual exercise that is holding them back why they are not having the breakthrough. And they will begin to. It just turns people into a slave plantation where you work yourself to death. You bring your money, it's not enough. You will still have to bring your time, your free time. You bring your labor. You will be working day and night to build empire. You will be thinking, they'll be telling you it's for the kingdom of God. But you are actually building Oyedepo's empire. When he goes, he's already putting his children in place. His children will you will work for their father, then later you will be working for their children just because you are waiting for breakthrough. They are deceiving you that you have not done enough. Then later on, they will go for another project. They will say, the next one you are yet to do is this one. Why the ingathering of souls into the church? So you'll be working like a crazy. You've given your money, but it's not enough. Now you have to give your time. You've given your time, it's not enough. You have to be going to look for souls. Not for the kingdom of God, but for the church, so that they will keep on collecting their money. They just turn you to a slave. Hard-working slave. You will just be working. You don't know that the whole thing is not about people getting born again. Because if it is about people getting born again, they will say, just get people saved and take them to any church. But they don't want you to take them to any church. It has to be to their own church. Why? Because they need those people's tithes. They need those people's offering. It is about their own, video. Their own empire. It is not about you at all. And the reason they are saying it is spiritual explanation that is needed for the breakthrough, financial breakthrough, is because, that's to just confuse you more. So that by the time they confuse you, they mesmerize you, you'll be ready to do anything they tell you to do. Okay, let's go.
So financial fortune is real. Not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour. No. And not everybody will ever feel it. There are people that by spiritual understanding live above it. By their spiritual understanding, naturally live above it.
Stop. By spiritual understanding, live above economic problem. So why are you, if you have already spiritual understanding, why are you they collect people's offering and tithe? Why are you sending people to go and get more new converts? To go and bring people tithers? People who will be giving more money. Why are you sending them? But you have spiritual understanding. Make you collect money from Angel Gabriel direct now. Why are you collecting the money from the poor? Why are you collecting the money from the orphans, from the widows, from the hard workers? Why are you paying those your slaves, pastors, $40,000, which is $100 a month, $120, $130 a month? What is that? People who have family, people who have children, people who have to send their children to school. You are paying them $100 a month. What is that? But you have spiritual understanding. Be paying them 1 million now. Or teach them the spiritual understanding. But you are just enslaving them, using them as slaves. Heartless human being. That's it.
Our church system naturally lives above. We can't feel it. It's not near where we live. It's not close by any standard.
Stop. Nazat, shush, Nazat. Okay, shush. What did he say? Let me hear that part again, no? Yes.
Our church system naturally lives above.
Stop. Look at the pride. He said their church system. Is it no human being that makes up a church? You mean no human being in Winner's Chapel system that is feeling economic hardship? No human being in Winner's system that is feeling... Wait a minute. No human being in Winner's Chapel that is feeling economic hardship. No human being in our church system. No human being feels economic hardship. We live above it. Naturally live above it. In Winners, the whole church lives above it. Or what is church system? You mean it's not human being, it's not church people? Is he talking about your pocket alone? Because even apart from members of Winners, even pastors feel it though. Staff feel it though. So who is left that doesn't feel it? Who is left in that Winner system that doesn't feel it? If ordinary congregation feel economic hardship, pastors feel economic hardship, staff who are working in the ministry feel economic hardship. So who is left that doesn't feel that economic hardship that he's talking about? That they naturally don't feel it. Am I hearing him right?
Our church system naturally lives above. We can't feel it. It's not near where we live.
Stop. Economic hardship is not near where Winners live, where their church system lives. No economic hardship. Their church system doesn't feel it. It doesn't come near where they live. Economic hardship doesn't come near Winners. Is he a liar? This thing is making me to think this man is a liar. This thing is making me to think that this man is a liar. This thing is making me to think he's a liar. Okay, let me hear him dash even further.
It's not close by any standard. Why? Operating the terms of the covenant has put us supernaturally above those circumstances, so we can't feel it.
Stop. Operating the terms of the covenant. So, and people are listening to him there. And people are listening to him there. And those same church members will be thinking, operate, which one of the terms of the covenant again that have not fulfilled? Oh my God. Bishop, tell us what is the next thing. Can you now understand why they will always run? Any new thing it comes forward for them to do, for them to work like slaves, like slave labor for him, they will jump and teeth and begin to run. Because they say terms of the covenant is what makes you not to feel it. I too don't want to feel economic hardship. Tell me what I said do I need to do? What covenant again do I need to fulfill? That is how people become slaves to them. These people are just callous, wicked, and heartless. He is collecting money of people for free. From morning to night, every day of the week. People are going to work 8 hours. People are building their businesses and they are bringing 10%, 20%, 30%, 100% even in some cases to him. every day of the week. And he's now laughing and saying, you are feeling economic hardship. You people don't know anything. You don't know some spiritual covenant. It is because you don't follow the spiritual covenant. Our church, nobody feels it. I don't even know how to interpret this man again. No. I don't even know how to term it, what terminology to use. What terminology should I use to even describe? What is it doing? You must, doesn't he have compassion on people who are feeling economic hardship? Me, I'm supposed to say, all of you are feeling economic hardship. Let's do the Acts of the Apostles now, where they distributed everything. They were taking care of all the needy. Anybody who needs everything. Since we don't feel it, since we don't feel any economic hardship, and let's do what the Acts of the Apostles did, where they distribute to anybody that is feeling economic hardship. It's not a matter of pride. In the Acts of the Apostles, the ones who are not feeling economic hardship, they brought everything they know, a lot of things that they had, and they distributed among other people who are still feeling economic hardship. So that you too will not feel it. It's not to be coming to now say, we have used some spiritual dimension, understanding, or spiritual calculation, and we don't feel economic hardship. And you are sitting there, you are the one to blame. You are also feeling economic hardship, and you are feeling you are nobody, you are not spiritual, you don't know covenant, you don't know the terms of covenant. No, they went and brought what they had. They put it at the feet of the apostles, and the apostles took all those things and distributed to all those people who are still feeling it, so that nobody will feel this hardship. This is compassion. This is love. In fact, it got a time that the widows from some nationalities, they were complaining, they have not taken care of our own widows. So they set up a whole committee of deacons and say, okay, you go and make sure that nobody feels economic hardship. Go and set up a system so that everybody is taken care of. Nobody will be left out. So that there will be nobody that is in need. And it was testified in the Acts chapter 2, Acts chapter 4, that they distributed everything they had among themselves, that nobody had any need. That is how Christianity is supposed to be. Christianity is not supposed to be becoming to brag. The difficulty, the hardship that is here, it is all because we don't feel it. You are feeling it. You are inferior somewhere there. We are the ones who don't feel it, because that is not Christianity. That's not the Spirit of Christ. Spirit of Christ is to lift those who are broke, who are down. Is to support those who have feeble knees. Is to to strengthen the weak. To tell the poor that you shall be rich. To tell the rich that you shall be whole. He said, I have come to preach the gospel to the poor. That's what Jesus said. Take care of the poor, the blind, the weak, to bring the captive out of the captivity. That's what the anointing is for. Even Jesus' anointing is for that. I have come to preach the gospel to the poor, to take care of the poor, to open the eyes of the blind, to take out of the captives out of captivity. That is what the gospel, not to be coming to them and say, you people are not anointed, though. I am anointed. I don't feel anything, though. I don't feel any economic of zero. I say, I have contacted, and you people have not contacted. I mean, no. But to use that anointing that I have, because the purpose of wealth is for you to use wealth to lift up those people who don't have. The purpose of power is for you to use that power to lift up those people who are down. It's for the purpose of influence. And anything you have is to use it to bring other people who are in a worse situation than yourself, to lift them up. It's not to be coming to say, well, I am up and you are down. It's because it's your fault. You are not. That's not Christianity. What these people are practicing is not Christianity. Believe me. Oh God. Have mercy. I think I will just go to my notes already, because I don't have interest in listening to all this garbage anymore. I don't have interest in listening to all this garbage. Let's go to my notes. What he said is, not everybody is feeling the heat of the hour, and not everybody will ever feel it. We all know why Oyedepo and his cronies will not feel the financial pressure that all Nigerians are feeling? The reason is very simple, because he's robbing the poor. And don't think it's a loud thing. Oh, he's robbing the poor. Even in the Old Testament, I showed you yesterday, the Bible does not allow the poor, the widows, the orphans, and the strangers. God doesn't allow them to give tithe and offering. His tithe and offering is rather collected for them. But in Oyedepo's ministry, everybody, even if you are poor, he said you have to give. Giving is the way to come out of the something. So he's robbing everybody. Rich, poor, middle class, everybody is being robbed. And then he's coming to oppress them and laugh at them and say, you are feeling economic hardship is because of something. I don't feel it. My family doesn't feel it. No, it doesn't even say my family. My ministry doesn't feel it. It doesn't come to where we will never ever feel it. Is it not at the expense of ordinary people? That is pride beyond just common sense. He will not feel the heat, because when you have deceived people to be giving their money to you while you are only receiving it, of course you won't feel the heat. It's only your poor members that feel it. But he's claiming that all his members, his church doesn't feel it. Proverbs 22:22-23. Do not rob the poor. That's exactly what Oyedepo and the churches in Nigeria do. Because he is poor. Nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. All these people who are plundering these people, their soul, God is going to find a way to plunder their soul. He has set up a system whereby he is robbing the poor, then turns around and blames those same poor people for being poor. You say, why are you feeling the economic heat? Is it their problem? Is it their problem? He's blaming them for being poor after collecting their money. See the lies that Oyedepo is selling to my people. He says there are some people who are by spiritual understanding don't feel it. By spiritual understanding don't feel economic problem. I said, so all these all these people, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, what is spiritual understanding do they have that don't feel? He's just bamboozling people's mind by spiritual. There are some people that by spiritual understanding. Instead of him to come down to the level of people and say, okay, we have service that nobody in this Kiev, right, in this Ukraine. Do you know when there was so bad economic situation that people were going to bed without food? Poverty in this country was horrible. You know what I did? The rich people in our church, I said, don't bring the tithe and offering to me. I told them, come together and let's find a way. I said, my vision is this, that nobody will go hungry in this city without food. Nobody, no human being. For 8 years, we were feeding people in this city, 2,000 people every day. Morning, that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Any time of the day, come and eat. That is how. We don't even have the kind of money that Bishop Oyedepo is having. The kind of money, $55 million is collecting every month. We don't even have that. We only needed 20,000. First of all, we started with $10,000 every month to do that. It's enough. Then $20,000. Then it went to $50,000. We are spending $50,000 to do that. It's enough a month to do that. But we fed 2 million people by the time we finished. So what is the problem with this bishop? And we started companies for 2,500 people, industries. Who started their own businesses. I trained people who didn't have work, who are coming from drugs and something. I trained at the end of my financial training for them, economic empowerment, 2,500 people started their own business. And 200 of them became a millionaire in US dollars. What is stopping this man from doing the same thing? See what the Bible says. Luke 16:19-23. Now, there was a certain rich man who was habitually dressed in expensive purple, and that's like him. These are Nigerian bishops, and fine linen, and celebrated. This is exactly what's happening to Nigerian pastors, and live joyously in splendor every day. This is the way, the lifestyle of our bishops. And a poor man, this is the majority of Nigerians, named Lazarus. In Nigeria now, it's not just one Lazarus that is there. Lazaruses are everywhere. Was laid at his gate, covered with his sore. If I've been to Oyedepo's Canaan land, the neighbors even, the ones who are living there permanent, not the ones who are coming from Abia State or Anambra or Kaduna, but and then the beggars in Lagos, the beggars, the crippled in Lagos, even apart from those cripples in Lagos from the north and everything, the ones in his own area, the neighbors in his own neighborhood, the Lazaruses that are all around the gate of Oyedepo, there are many, not just one. But these people are like Lazarus. He eagerly longed to eat the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Do you know how much food is being wasted, is being thrown away from these people's houses? And so many people that are like Lazarus hanging all around Lagos, hoping to be able to eat at least 1% of what is, at least some crumbs from what is coming from their table. Besides, even the dogs were coming and licking his sores. Dogs right now in Nigerian rich people's house are eating better food than real Nigerian people. Dogs. See what happens. Now, it happened that the poor man died, and his spirit was carried away by the angels to Abraham's bosom, paradise. And the rich man also died and was buried. In hate, the realm of the dead, being in torment, he looked up and saw Abraham far away and Lazarus in his bosom, and all that story. You all know the story. The question I have for you is this. Why was the rich man sent to hell? Why was the rich man sent to hell? Simple. It's not because he sinned. No. It's not because he didn't receive Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. You know the reason why? He didn't notice the need of another human being. He didn't notice the need of another human being. He committed the same sin that the priest and the Levite committed when they passed by that man that the Good Samaritan had mercy on. The Good Samaritan noticed that man's need, a human being. Because any human being is carrying God's image. Either he is broken or he was wounded by the road, or he's just poor on the same gate or the same street like the rich, like Lazarus. If you refuse to notice the needs of the dead spirit, but Oyedepo notices them, our GOs notice them. We notice them, but what we say is that it is their problem. They are the ones who have not entered into covenant, fortune, wealth covenant. It's because they have not paid their tithe. It's because they have not bring their offering. It is their problem. But the problem, Jesus didn't say is because they have not received, Lazarus has not received Jesus Christ, or these ones have not come to church. It's just, you see the story. He eagerly longed to eat the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. But the man was not at the house, so they would not allow him to get to the house. Where was the man? The poor man named Lazarus was laid at his gate, covered with stone. So he didn't enter the house. He didn't enter by the table. So it is not about the man going to see him. The man, maybe the rich man doesn't even know him. Maybe the rich man never even, because he knows him, he recognized him from the story after he got to hell, we know. But maybe he didn't even go to see him physically, because it was at the gate. Some people might say, but he doesn't know him. I don't know them. They are in Lagos. I don't see them. It is the duty of the rich man. If you are having abundance like this, there are crumbs and dogs and all those things, you are supposed to look for another human being like you and pay attention to them. You see, this man didn't enter. He's not a neighbor. He's not living there. They brought him to the gate. And you lock your gate. You inside the house. You are living the way you want. You see, what happened is not that this was, or he was a relative or something. No. He was inside this gate, like we are inside this gate. We don't know what's happening outside. But we know if you live in Lagos, there is no way you will not know that there are poor people around. That's what God is talking about. This man, he had enough. He was living in big house. He had purple and expensive dresses. He had fine linen. That's what the Bible says. He was habitually dressed in expensive purple. That's what the Bible is saying here. So he had more than enough to be able to afford to feed that man. He had a gate in his house. You understand what I'm saying? He was building his own ministry. He was building his own career. He had enough to live ostentatiously. He had enough to live, in what do you call it? In abundance. But in luxury. So it is what God is talking about. That part of that luxury should be taken to use to take care of a man that is made in God's image. I was poor. Jesus said, I was hungry. It is Jesus that was abandoned there. It's that man that is at the gate that is hungry, that couldn't eat, that couldn't afford 3 square meters, that Lazarus, that was Jesus. All those crippled all over Lagos, all those disabled all over Lagos, all those people running on the ground, that is Jesus. All those Muslims begging, all those children running about the street, that is Jesus. But this man, it's not that he cannot afford it all. He had enough to do it. That is why he went to hell. Anybody that abandons the needy, anybody that passes by the need of another human being, anybody that neglects another human being who is made in God's image, hellfire is waiting for them. That is the whole idea of this story. People go to hell not because they didn't receive Jesus. You go to hell when you pass by another human being who is in God's image. You are passing by Jesus, who is hungry, who is in need, and you can afford to help him. The Bible says never tell somebody, if it is in your power to do it, never refuse to do good to the person who is in need of it. If it's in your power to do it, don't ever pass by somebody who has good need. You do good to the people who are in need. If it's in your power to do it, that is the sin of this rich man. All of us know the story of this rich man, but I've never had anybody preaching it the right way. The only reason why God sent him to hell is not because he didn't receive Jesus. It's not because he's not a believer. It's just because he didn't look for the need. He didn't notice the need of another human being. Why? You cannot love God if you don't love man. You cannot touch God in heaven that you don't see if you don't touch human being. To touch God, you have to touch man. You cannot bypass human being in God's image and say you are looking for God. No way. You cannot neglect a man and say you want to touch God. If you neglect a man, you have neglected God. If you pass by a man, you have passed by God. If you have closed your ears at the cry of the needy, you have closed your ears from the cry of God. If you close your eyes at seeing the needs of the desperate, you have closed your eyes at God also. The reason why this rich man was sent to hellfire is not because he has some sins. No. The Bible didn't tell us about his sins. The Bible didn't tell us about he didn't receive Jesus. The Bible didn't tell us about everything he did. The only sin he committed, he didn't pay attention to the need of another human being. That's what Jesus said. Jesus is very consistent about this. That's the same with this in the story of the Good Samaritan also. It's very consistent. And it's the same sin that was committed where Jesus said, take some are the sheep, some are the goats, and some are the sheep. Who are the goats? The ones who saw me when I was hungry and they didn't feed me. I was thirsty, they didn't give me water. I was in prison, I was sick. They are the same people. The same sin is being committed. What is that sin? You don't neglect another human being like you. Someone who is created in God's image like you. Someone who has breath in his nostril like you. Someone who has skin like you. Somebody who feels pain like you. Somebody who desires to be loved like you. Just like you, everybody desires to be loved. You don't pass by them without extending that hand of love to them. Somebody who can feel hunger, just like you could feel hunger. You don't pass by them without giving them their food. Somebody who desires to experience joy, just like you don't neglect them and deny them of that joy. Somebody who wants to have peace, like you, just like you. Somebody who can feel pain, just like you don't bypass them and feel and say you don't feel pain. I mean, they can feel pain just like you don't bypass them. Somebody who can feel hunger just like you don't bypass them. Somebody who can feel thirst just like you don't bypass them. Once you do that sin, you are born for hellfire. How do I know it? In the story of the Good Samaritan, he said, go and do this. Because it was, what should we do to enter the kingdom of God? Go and do like the Good Samaritan and you enter the kingdom of God. He said, who are the people going to hell? These ones on the left, they are going to hell. What did they do? I was hungry. Someone who can feel hunger. You can feel hunger. You know what it means like now. Why should you now see somebody else feeling that same hunger? Would you like to be the one that will feel hunger, somebody will pass by you? You can feel it now. Why should you pass by that person? That is why I made up my mind in this city that nobody in this city and any city I will ever live in my life that will go to bed hungry. Nobody. If I live in that city, you will not go to bed hungry. It will be my responsibility. God doesn't need to come from heaven. And that's why we are feeding 2,000 people every day. And when I get to Nigeria, take me by my word. By the grace of God, when I get to Nigeria, I pray that God will resolve my problems. I have my own battles that I'm fighting here. Once I'm over it, but my sister is here, all of you that listen to me, remind me, when I get to Nigeria, if it's Lagos, I'm going to leave, or what, Abuja, I'm going to leave, or any city where I'm going to live, there will not be any human being that will go to bed hungry in that city. Either they are 10 million or 20 million, or nobody must go to bed. If they are feeling thirsty, nobody must go to bed without. If I can feel thirst, nobody must suffer from thirst when I can afford it. If I can feel hunger, nobody must be hungry when I can afford it. What kind of wickedness is that? And I'll be going to tell them spiritual covenant, some covenant fortune. It is far from us. It's far from you. So you are in abundance. Why are you doing it? So that it will be far from other people too. That is the sin that made this marriage man to go to hell. And that's what we must teach our people, that Christianity is not about say, I am blessed. So be looking at me as I'm blessed. This man is blessed. This rich man, he was blessed. He was also living ostentatiously like that he is blessed. That is your blessedness is not for you to be proud. It's for you to make sure that nobody that is not blessed yet will remain in that state of not being blessed. That is the reason for the whole of you being blessed. I hope that people will understand Christianity again. Please, where am I? Where am I something? They are making wealth creation look mystical. That's what Oyedepo is doing. In some spiritual understanding, some fortune, some covenant. As though it only belongs to the realm of the gods. So everybody else should just be suffering in the poverty. That is exactly what witchcraft and paganism is all about. That you have to be chosen or favored by God to deserve his blessings. That is paganism. That's not Christianity. Christianity is about mercy. Even if people don't deserve it, even if people don't deserve that mercy, they don't deserve that blessing, you are created in God's image so that you'll be able to feel the pain of another. You are created in God's image so that you'll be able to have mercy on another. That is what Christianity is all about. You can feel hunger now. Can't you feel it? So when another person is feeling that hunger, you should be able to relate. That I'm not feeling hunger, but that person is feeling hunger. So, and I can afford it. It's another thing if you cannot afford it. But if you can afford it, what's the problem? That person is sick, crazy in the street, madman. And you know that you don't want to be mad. You know what stigma it is to be mad. You don't want to be mad. And you are seeing your own human being like you in the street of Lagos or somewhere else. that is running naked in the street, and you are just passing him by and laughing and doing that, and you are a human being, somebody, that person is like you, human being. Will you like to be in his place? You don't want to. Hey, why don't you go and save him? That is what Christianity is all about. Psalm 10 verse 2. The wicked in his pride. Because that's pride that I see in Oyedepo. It is pride I'm saying in. We don't feel it in my ministry. We don't. It's far from us. We can never. What is all that? What about the ones who are feeling it? Can you extend mercy to them? The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. Let them be caught in the plot which they have devised. That's what the Bible says. You don't want that to be your destiny. So have mercy on these people. I mean, if you don't want that same thing that is happening to others to ever happen to you or your children, have mercy right now. What is left will be for you to be begging and rolling on the floor to ask for their mercy. That's what they want. To be rolling on the floor and to be begging. That's why all those church members, they are ready to do anything. They are ready to go to church, to be rolling on the floor, to be begging, to be praying, asking for God's mercy. When you are there, when you are the richest pastor in the world, when the money is there, you are telling people to be praying to God in heaven. When you can help there, corona right now, people will be praying and fasting because they cannot eat. And you have the money in abundance. And you are sitting down there. People are praying so that they may extend some good to them, church or something, but they will tell you, go and pray, go and sow, go and do this. Exactly the same thing done with witch doctors. Because witch doctors, everybody pray, go to them to pray, to give all their things. That's what they are practicing in these churches. Who makes us believe? Those witch doctors make us believe that they have some special powers and access to God. That's what Oyedepo is doing. Because the witch doctors, why are they witch doctors? Because they know something, they have some special power. That's exactly what Oyedepo is claiming. So what we do is to beg and ask them to beg God for favor for our sake. We are giving up all we have so they could pay attention to us. That's what was being done when we didn't know God in the village. Everybody is looking for a powerful witch doctor who has some special power, some special spiritual revelation, some special sitting with the gods. So we are ready to give them anything. We are ready to do any sacrifice, to give up everything we have so that they will extend us some favor. That's exactly what they are practicing in Nigerian church. It is witchcraft. Their church, the kind of church they are practicing, it is glorified witchcraft. It is shrine, glorified shrine. This is why syncretism and paganism is dangerous. And this is what my people in Nigeria are practicing today. But in the kingdom of God, all are blessed already. And if you are blessed, it's not for your sake. It's for you to be a blessing to others. You don't brag about that. You have mercy. You tender yourself as service to God. Universal laws are given to all men to explore. No need for special rituals or mysteries like Oyedepo makes his followers to believe. Don't tell them that there are some spiritual secrets why you cannot feel economic hardship. That your church is having some canopy that is making them not to feel economic something. No, teach them universal laws that are given to all of us. Teach them how to create wealth. Teach them the principles of and the laws of wealth creation. Teach them how to make money. Teach them all these things so that they will not be thinking that they are not fortunate or they are not favored by God. Teach them, to believe in God. Therefore, the promise depends entirely on faith. That is confident, trust in the unseen God, in order that it may be given as an act of grace. New King James? New King James. So that the promise will be guaranteed to all descendants of Abraham. Not, just God is already, Jesus has already given us all the blessings of Abraham. But instead of teaching people that, no, God loves you, God has given you everything, what Oyedepo is doing is bragging, using his church as an example. But he is talking about his church system, which is his organization. But his members are feeling the economic heat. They are suffering. To Oyedepo, people are not the church. Because he's talking about his church system, organization. He's not talking about the people. He doesn't care for his members. And he has no empathy for them. That's why he's saying they don't feel anything. Because we know that they feel. Isaiah, but what he's doing there is robbing the members. Isaiah said to rob the needy of justice and to take what is right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. That's exactly what Oyedepo is doing. And he's still using bragging and telling them that they are the ones who are inferior because they don't have some spiritual, connection or covenant. And you are taking their money. You are robbing them for sure. Robbing the needy of justice, take what is right, for what belongs to the poor, that widows may be their prey. That's exactly what's happening in the Nigerian church, robbing the fatherless. Can you hear what Oyedepo is saying? It is the term of covenant. That's what he said. It is the term of covenant that is making his organization not to feel the economic heat. What covenant? Why is people are feeling it? He doesn't have love for the people. Because if you have love for the people, you will make sure that nobody in the church feels it, not just in your family or your organization. He only thinks about himself. 2 Corinthians 9:8 says, and God is able to make all grace, and favor and earthly, need to pay the word to the Adelaja guy, come in abundance to you, so that you may always, under all circumstances, regardless of the need, have complete sufficiency in everything, being completely self-sufficient in him, and have an abundance for every good work and act of charity. So instead of caring for people like Jesus does, and to be kind to people, Oyedepo is just using them to brag and say, comparing himself that I have everything, you don't have anything, is because you are poor and I'm rich. Let me tell you what is behind what Oyedepo is doing. Oyedepo has something that he calls commission. It's a dubious commission. Let's look at that commission. Let me quickly show you that commission. 1, it says, our mandate for ministry was received from the Lord himself in an 18-hour vision. And how can 18-hour vision be in one paragraph? In one sentence? Nobody has ever had this 18-hour vision, because God is not a talkative. Can you imagine God appearing to somebody, to me or you, in 18-hour vision? 18-hour vision, do you know how much information that is? Even if it is just me and you sitting down for 18 hours. And I will just take this iPad and be reading to you for 18 hours. Oh. You know how much information that will be? 18 hours vision, not 8 minutes vision. No. 18 hours, not 18 seconds. So if it is 18 seconds vision, I still understand. 18 hours vision, and the whole vision is just in one sentence. Have you ever heard of Oyedepo telling this vision? It is 18 hours vision, more than in one sentence or two sentences. 18-hour vision. Dubious commission. Dubious. Now lying they tell. He said the hour has come. This is the whole commission. The hour has come to liberate the world from all oppressions of the devil. Okay, the hour has come. Through the preaching of the word of faith. And I am sending you to undertake this task. Him alone. So if he is the one that is doing it, what will Jesus do? What has Jesus come to do? How can one man be the one to liberate the whole world from the oppressions of the devil through the preaching of the word of faith? What is word of faith? Word of faith is false doctrine that they are teaching over there in America. And I am sending you to undertake this. You alone? Of course it's the lie. There is no way God will just take you alone and say you are the only one that will liberate the whole world. And you're already 60. And the world has not yet... You're already 60. The whole world is not yet liberated. When will that happen? When you're already getting old. You are going to die soon. When will this world be liberated? Even Nigeria is not liberated. Even Lagos, even Ota is not liberated. Even his village is not liberated. Talk less of the whole world. Oga, make you not tell me story. This vision is the vision of Jesus Christ. This is exactly what Jesus Christ came for himself. Oyedepo cannot be the deliverer of the whole world. Abba. Yeah, Jesus Christ now. He is the only one. He cannot be the one sent to liberate the whole world of oppression. This is too much for one man. This is what Jesus came for. All of us, after Jesus, we are still, the old preachers who have lived before now and up till now, all of us are still trying to carry out the task of Jesus Christ. The whole world is still not being delivered. And you are talking about yourself alone. Abba. This is a dubious commission Oyedepo is having. His son, David Jr., ordained in 2007, was sent to pastor London Church as his first assignment. And in the church, what he tells other people is that you cannot be sent to go overseas, to go and pastor church or to go and pastor a big church until you have pastored in the village or small churches and you have gone to many missions. You must have gone to some other stations in Nigeria, in outside of Nigeria. You must have, pastored other smaller churches before you are trusted with the big church overseas, especially in London, the mega church. But his own son didn't even pastor anything. So, and he's the first church he's going to ever practice. He never planted any church. And what he is telling his people is that they must have planted this church, planted many churches in different places, but the son never planted any church. And he never pastored any small church. Like they tell other people, pastor smaller church before. He was sent direct to pastor 3,000 member church in London for the first time. What a partiality. These are the kind of commission Oyedepo is talking about. It's only his own formation, it's his own family business he's doing. He doesn't care for the kingdom of God, for other people. He's holding them as slaves. Oyedepo prohibits any of his pastors from writing books, including his bishops. Can you believe it? This man is not care, he doesn't care for any human being. He's only using them as raw materials. Even Abioye, who is a bishop, only wrote books on the permission of Oyedepo himself. He has to give him special permission. Even bishops cannot write books. In my church here, when ordinary people have written church, come here. How many books have you written? Each one of you come. Skoka knik to Jepisala. Come here, let me tell you. How many books have you written, Galina?
I think I wrote maybe about 10.
10 books.
About
okay.
10.
10 books. Okay, you come here. You too. How many books have you written?
2.
2. With Flushaya Twait Naushne today.
Maybe 100.
Okay, she has written 2 books and has published 100 scientific works because she's a PhD holder in the university, a lecturer. So 100 scientific works. Okay?
5 books.
You have written 5 books. And in Oyedepo's church, if you have been in Oyedepo's church, you can never, only the man can write books. What is that? How many have you written?
I wrote about 15 books.
15 books. But there, even bishop, you have to go and take his permission. Let's go ahead and see the dubious commission of this man. He assigns pastors for assignments not related to their calling, and he pays them peanuts as a pastor. $100, $90, $60. That's what he pays them. $200, $150. For instance, when they were building Covenant University, he assigned pastors who are engineers, architects, to do the construction site for over 2 years. You remember? Our friend is one of those. Many of them never stepped in their churches to preach for those 2 years. They were used to build the university and the mega church of 50,000 seater for free. He used their expertise, but never paid them as professionals. He was just paying them as $50, like $100, like they are, as like those pastors. But they was using them as professionals. I was told this then by a senior pastor who was involved. I even have a friend also who was used like that. So, and if those people had worked like that in the world, they would have made much money. But, he just used them like slave labor. It's like Pharaoh, who used the children of Israel like that too. He stopped pastors' wives from working and never paid them. Though I would not know if this has changed in the last 5 years. There were pastors' wives who are engineers and doctors but jobless. In fact, a pastor was sacked several years ago because his wife traveled out of Nigeria for a few weeks on a business trip and he sacked the pastor. I don't know if they still practice this or not. Can you believe it? As a pastor, you cannot go and work in a secular place because you are not supporting the mission. You have to be with your band, He's just exploiting them like slaves. No, this is inhuman. This is too bad. This is too bad. He pays his pastors peanuts as monthly salaries. Meanwhile, these pastors send to him billions in monthly collections. Why would they not steal? Because they know how much money they collect in their branches, in their parishes. 20 billion every month they send to him. And he just pays them peanuts. And they are stealing. They are all stealing, not just from the church, but they are stealing. They cannot steal from the church, but see what they are doing. This is a newspaper in Nigeria, a magazine in Nigeria. You see what it says. 3 pastors of Winners Chapel reportedly in dispute over land sale. 3 pastors of the Isheri branch of Winners Chapel have reportedly turned up in court over 16 million naira, money scandal. Scandal trails Living Faith Church, Aka Winners Chapel, and 3 pastors of the branch of Isheri Olofin area of Lagos State are reportedly brought in disputes over 16.5 million. The sum was reportedly realized from the purchase of a parcel of land and property by the church. They take them to court because when they steal like that, they take them to court. But we should see why they are stealing. They are stealing because millions are passing through them, billions are passing through them, and they cannot even eat or send their children to school. That's why they are stealing. You are pushing these people to steal. That is the dubious commission of Oyedepo. He stopped ordaining his pastors as bishops few years ago because he said they were leaving once he ordains them. He wanted them to serve him forever. Of course, not less than 5 of them have left. He ordained 8 bishops. Now only 3 of them are left. All the rest have left. And he stopped ordaining bishops because, he doesn't understand why they are leaving. They are leaving because he's just using them as labor force. Because those people discover that they are slaves. Pastors having immigration challenge in Europe, Oyedepo refuses to help his serving pastors in UK, even pastors and US, to get their visas. The World Mission Agency, Winners Chapel, has eligibility to apply for visa sponsorship for pastors, but Oyedepo refuses to. They have the right to. These are pastors who are serving them like slaves, slave labor, but he will not help them. He said they should go and look for visa and then come to serve. They have the right to give them. He's only giving to his relatives and people that he wants. I remember of a pastor who came to UK as a student and his visa expired, but he was an assistant pastor while being a student. At that time, he was doing clerical work with the church. When his visa expired, the church sacked him instead of giving him sponsorship visa. They sacked him. Annoyingly, it was another smaller church in London that gave him visa. Of course, the pastor is still in Winners Chapel, London, serving this fake apostle. He's so brainwashed that even despite all this treatment, he still couldn't leave. He's been so brainwashed and deceived, they couldn't even leave after that. Oyedepo brought his son to London on a sponsorship visa in 2008, who eventually had his British citizenship before he was taken back to Nigeria. The same thing that he could have done for others. What a partiality from a man that calls himself man of God. His son lived in £5 million house built to their taste. This is a man who never did any paid job in his life before he came to London, to pastor London Church. And when the next pastor, who is one of their top pastors, was sent to replace his son was withdrawn, and the next pastor, who is one of their pastors, was sent to replace him, one of their almost their bishop, you could say now. That man with 4 children went to live in that same house where his son was. They kicked him out. They said that house is not befitting for him. So they went and put him in a small apartment where his son, without any children that time, was 1 or 2 children, was staying in that 5 million, because it's for his own empire. It's not about people. Look at another one. The prison called Living Faith Church Worldwide, Winners Chapel. I want to prove to you that Winners Chapel is a prison. Look at this thing. They call it enlistment as a volunteer under the volunteer service scheme. Do you know that pastors and everybody that is working in that church, they call them volunteer? So that you don't have any right. You don't have the right to sue them or to claim anything. This is what they write for them. This is the letter from Oyedepo. I write to acknowledge receipt of your subscription to the recently introduced volunteer service scheme of the ministry. They call it volunteer service scheme. It's a scheme, really. Scheme. You know what is a scheme? Financial scheme. It's a deception. It's a fraudulent scheme. That's what he's doing. Using these kind of words. So, scheme of the ministry. Subsequently, I have been directed to inform you, this is one of his staff writing, to inform you that the Executive Council has approved your enlistment application. This is for a pastor. It takes effect from 1st of June 11. Please find attached a summary of enlistment conditions in the volunteer service scheme to which you have subscribed. This is the condition. This is for your information. Among the conditions is the provision for periodic renewal and voluntary withdrawal of service under the scheme. Kindly take time to go through the detailed condition and acknowledge receipt of the letter. By your enlistment, the contract employment under which you were formally engaged has been terminated, and your service, and they could just throw you away anytime. You don't have any right. They could employ you and throw you away, and your entitlement covering the years of your employment under the subscription development policy is being prepared and shall be paid into your pensions account. Remain blessed and congratulated. That's for pastors. And some of them, they don't even pay them those things. They call it voluntary service. So if they don't pay you, you don't have anything to say. So that is the Oyedepo scam and prison. That is put all these workers and pastors in prison. Oyedepo is serving the God of Mammon.